And my thing is that I'm gonna get my get back even if I get life, trust me. Or even if it means my life, trust me. And y'all don't understand that. Check it. So I was with somebody, boom, we have been dating for like a month. He asked me while we was together, why you ain't post me? Usually people gotta go through the 30-day, 90-day trial, feel me? I can't post you, make us official, and I don't even know if you loyal for it. I don't know you from a can of paint.
She sound like one of those manly New York women.
Started this trend, but you got Drake painting his nails, you got Caleb Williams, the #1 college football athlete, and they're also getting paid to do this. I mean, you have him doing this Dr. Pepper ad where he's clearly painting his nails, and now they're tapping into March Madness. It's the biggest month of basketball in the year. And Jared McCain, a college basketball star for Duke, just announced an NIL deal where he signed with a beauty and nail polish brand. Watch this.
I'm in the middle of painting my nails right now, and I just did this side white, and I'm gonna do this side blue. And I thought I'd just talk to you guys a little bit about why. Going the Duke blue as usual. Just do some self-care time. I think everybody should do some self-care for themselves. For me, it's nail painting. I'm sorry if that offends any of you guys. My favorite nail polish to use though is the Sally Hansen.
Welcome back to the channel. You see the information on the screen, so you know what I'm about. So let's get into it. So, you know, one of the things that's really interesting to me, and like I said, if you've been tracking with me for a while, you already know that I get very frustrated sometimes with the modern church. And while I'm not in every church, and while I, don't know what your particular pastor is saying, there are so many things that are going on right now in the spirit that is really destroying America. And I just don't see enough pastors yelling and screaming about it at the top of their lungs. And generally, I don't get into too many cultural things, or I don't really get into a lot of things, I think, outside of the bubble of getting people married, right? Because, I'll just be honest, I have a limited amount of knowledge outside of that, beyond just being a Christian and, dealing with my own Christian walk, right? Because, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect out here. And even what I'm about to get into, I am not trying to demonize necessarily anybody. What I'm hoping that everyone that watches this video understands is the deeper meaning behind a lot of things that are happening right now. So the very first video, that you saw, it basically is called "Are Modern Women Becoming Too Manly?" And it was actually done by V's Reaction Videos, right? And, I didn't have to go through the whole thing or whatever, but the reason why, it really got me was because of the title, right? And even that second video, I had seen videos like that. In fact, I've seen both of these things, but yet I don't see Christians talking about this. And this is huge because the Bible talks about this directly, basically saying that women are not supposed to wear men's clothes. And I think the illusion here is also to do men's things, to have a male attitude, and that men are not supposed to wear women's clothes and take on the persona of a woman, right? But yet, this is becoming more and more of a trend in our current world. In fact, I don't know if you all have really paid attention, but, and like I said, maybe it's just because I'm in Atlanta. And, many of you might know a lot about Atlanta because Atlanta is like a mecca, for a lot of, people out here. Basically, the homosexual community, right? It is a huge hub for that. All right. And so maybe it's because I'm here that I see it a little bit more, but it's getting to a point where literally I could be walking downtown Atlanta and somebody passed me and I don't know if that was a man or a woman. And it's not even about like the height. Sometimes back in the day, I remember you would see a man dressed as a woman and you kind of knew. I mean, it was tall, he had this Adam's apple, he was, walking in a certain way, trying to walk in the heels. But it was like, okay, yeah, you're just a man in a dress. Now even men, they'll literally look almost exactly like a woman. And then on the flip side, you'll have a woman that's 5'9", 5'11", 6 foot tall, and she walks in a way, moves in a way, acts in a way where it's almost like, dang, that's like a dude. I mean, you'll see the woman coming in and she got muscles and everything, right? It's like almost every single thing is there, right? The reason why this is important and the reason why I sometimes I hesitate to do these kind of videos is because you got to go and you really have to understand your Bible in order to get this video. Okay. In the New Testament, Paul talked about the fact that we don't wrestle with flesh and blood, right? We actually wrestle with what? Like principalities and spirits and different things like that. And every single thing that is in our world has a spirit that represents it. I'm hoping that you can kind of track with me, right? And so there is a spirit of homosexuality, but then there's also this spirit of this androgynous slash, cross-dressing energy. It's an energy. It's a spirit, right? And it's real. And again, I don't hear the Christian community talking about it. All right. And what this energy wants to do is it's trying to convince people that there's no difference when a man wants to paint his fingernails. That's exactly the video that you saw. And pretty soon they will tell men, hey, it's okay to wear a dress. In fact, we've already seen a couple of men wearing dresses. I actually did a video a long time ago where I showed a couple of men wearing dresses. There are men now saying that they want to wear heels. Pretty soon honestly, I've already seen men, now I think about it, in full makeup. Okay. And at first we're saying, okay, well, it's just the homosexual men that do this. And we kind of give it a pass because it's just the homosexual men. But now you have men that are saying that they're straight, that they only want to be with women, but they want to wear full makeup. They want to contour their face. They want to wear lipstick. They want to wear eyeshadow, eyeliner, all these other types of things. They want to grow their hair long. All this kind of stuff. And when I say long here, I'm not talking about long in a manly way. I'm talking about long in a Pantene Pro V commercial way. And when we start to really look at this, again, this is a spirit. And the same thing, you have women that are basically not trying to necessarily do the short haircut, being cute, where it has the little waves at the end and they're kind of doing a design. No. They want to just be able to walk around almost like a man's haircut. Okay, walk around with man's clothes on. And I'm talking about so they almost look at a distance like it's a man. I don't want to discount, the ability for women to wear pants and for women to wear shorts and different things like that. I'm not trying to take us back 100 years where women are saying, well, they can only wear dresses. Because I'll be honest with you, in certain countries and cultures, it is okay for a man to wear a dress because it's actually manly. Like when you start to talk about kilts, okay? Or you start to go into places like Saudi Arabia, where men have been wearing what we would consider a robe-like dress their entire, for the last however many years, right? So I don't want to play that game and for you to kind of go to the left or to the right thinking I'm talking about that. No, I want to be very specific. Okay, what we're talking about here is the cultural norms over the last 20 years in America, and I'm pretty sure it's probably happening in other countries as well, where people are trying to blur the lines between what is considered masculine and what is considered feminine, and the ability for a man or a woman to express themselves openly like that and then still try to say, I'm straight. And see, that's a spirit. I'm just being honest with you. It's a spirit. And it's something that is hurting us. One of the things that I started to notice as I started to talk to more and more women is, again, this not understanding of the blurring of lines. Like, I've seen women that have what I call, because there's a thing we used to call back in the day called gaydar. Okay, like a radar for gay people. And over the last 20 years, it's almost like women's gaydar is off. Like, I used to be able to spot, a gay man, like this. I mean, it wasn't hard for me at all, to spot a gay man. And, you would also have the more masculine, lesbian that you could easily spot. But I found women that a very feminine gay man, they will be attracted to. They will be 100% attracted to him. And then they find out later that he's gay and it blows their mind. And I'm like, a blind man could see that. Stevie Wonder could see that. Ray Charles could see that that man was gay. It's like, how did you not know he was gay? But see, that is what's going on here. That's what the enemy wants. He doesn't want women to be able to know whether or not a man is gay or straight just by looking at him. And it's the same thing for men. They're trying to get men to not understand, okay, is this a woman I'm talking to? Is this a man I'm talking to? Is this a woman that is, straight, or is she gay? How do I know? And see, that's all a part of a plan that's going on. Another thing that's really interesting, and I'm trying to let you guys know, and like I say, some of you, this video might be a little bit too big for you. Okay, and I'm not trying to disrespect you, but again, if you don't understand spirit, then it becomes really difficult. And see, spirit is it's almost like a virus. It can jump on you, and you can say, well, no, it'll never happen to me. It can jump on you, and it jumps on you softly at first, okay, in little bitty things, and then it slowly but steadily takes over, right? And I'll give you another example. So about 3 months ago, I ran into a lady that basically said that she actually ran into several gentlemen, okay, that had wanted to have anal sex with her. Okay, so we're not even talking about vaginal sex. Okay, we're talking about anal. Now, she already has the proper equipment for a man to indulge in sex with her. But in this particular case, the lady was like, I keep running into guys and all they keep talking about is anal sex. See, what happens here, guys, is that at first you have this straight man, and then what happens is the concept gets perverted. Sexuality gets perverted, and it starts small. Instead of these men wanting vaginal sex, they want anal sex. Now, again, why would a man need anal sex from a woman? He doesn't need that. But see, that's how the spirit creeps in. It creeps in slowly. It might be a porn. It might be this. It might be that. But what's really happening is there's a spirit of homosexuality. And now what it's doing is making the first step. And the first step is to convince straight men that, oh yeah, anal sex is fun. You wanna do that. And remember, for the Bible scholars, that is called sodomy. It is not called anal sex. I'm always telling you all that the enemy loves to change the words. Okay? It's called sodomy in the Bible. And it is against what God wants. Because God never wants anyone harmed. All of his rules and regulations are built upon people being healthy, people being happy, people not being hurt. And no matter how you feel about anal sex, the butt was not made to take the average size penis. Okay, it wasn't. It's just not. Okay, and a lot of complications can happen when you start to go down that route. Okay, but again, that's enough. TMI, right? So now let's move on. So what happens is, as these men are dealing with anal sex with women, then the enemy comes in and whispers and says, oh, well, yeah, that was fun. But men have buttholes too. It'll just be a different experience. And it kind of puts that drop, because the man has already had anal sex with a woman. Now he's thinking, well, what's the difference? Anal sex is anal sex. And before you know it, he's having anal sex with a man. Something he never thought about. Because see, that spirit jumped on him. It slowly but steadily creeped in and got him. And see, this is why you always have to pray for people that are in certain places, and even sometimes your pastor and stuff like that, is because people can be attacked, okay, by these spirits. These spirits don't want this information getting out. But the bottom line is, it's happening. It's happening. I'm showing you. What kind of man 20 years ago was painting his nails anything other than black and clear? That was it. If he was a goth, he might do the black thing, black paint on the nails and maybe some eyeliner, because that's the goth thing, or the heavy metal rock band, type of thing. But that was it. And the pretty boys might have put a little bit, of clear on there because, they wanted to show how clean and tidy and looking good they were. But that was it. Now you have grown men painting their nails blue, red, green, putting the same little decals on their nails as the women do. You have women walking around, chest out, straight women, walking, talking like men. And what's interesting is there are men attracted to those women. They're attracted to women who walk like men. And see, this is in the dating pool now. This is in the area that all of you are navigating. And this is the problem. And you cannot believe that God is not upset about this. He's very frustrated about this because he knows where this goes. But yet, pastors don't talk about it. They're too worried about spreading the gospel around the world. Oh, we have to do this charitable work over here. Oh, I need a new jet because God said I need a jet in order to spread the gospel. I can't get on a normal airplane. I need my own $1 million airplane with my own flight crew. Right? And see, that is the problem with the church. And that is the problem, that we are spreading the gospel everywhere. Meanwhile, the literal body of Christ is rotting. Just think about that. Anyway, I'm excited to see what you all will talk about in the comments. Now, remember, on October the 2nd, that's a Wednesday, we will be doing a Zoom live. Okay, so set your calendars. That should be next week on next Wednesday, or I guess this coming Wednesday. So set your calendars on that. If you want to go ahead and join membership, please do. That's such a blessing to me, and it just lets me, give you guys more and do more for you in the future. Also, the final thing is to subscribe. I'm all about marriage. Please only subscribe if you're into marriage and you really want that type of information. And please like this video, and I'm going to see you all in the very next video.